I'm whipping up some Southern country comfort in the kitchen today. It's keto, ketovore, carnivore, all kinds of low carb fritters. You guys got to stick around because we're getting comfy in Chris Cooking Nashville's kitchen today. All right, so the first thing we're going to do today is I'm going to show you how to make a base that can be used to fry up whatever kind of fritters you would like. And then I'm going to show you a couple of different versions I've come up with. One is very much carnivore, and the other one is a little ketovore leaning with a few veggies, but you could leave those out very easily. I'm sure many of you are going to have a lot of other ideas, and you can customize this recipe. So let me show you how we make this carnivore fritter base, and then we'll talk about how you can customize it for a bunch of different recipes all year round. So these are the ingredients for the carnivore fritter base that we're going to use. I have 8 ounces of softened cream cheese in a large heavy bowl over here, and I'm going to use a heavy bowl because it's going to make it easier to mix this without the bowl sliding across the counter, which is one of the things that I tend to struggle with in this kitchen. The next thing I have is a bowl here which has 6 tablespoons whey protein powder. You could also use something like a beef isolate protein, or really any other kind of protein powder that works for whatever version of the proper human diet you are on, just so long as you have about 6 tablespoons of that protein powder to absorb the extra moisture, you're going to be just fine regardless of what kind it is. I also have 1 whole tablespoon of egg white powder in here. Make sure to check the labels on your egg white powder and make sure it only has egg whites in there, no other additives. If you do have one of those egg whites that has sunflower lecithin or some other kind of additive in it that makes it difficult or even impossible to whip it, it will still work in this recipe. So if you're okay with eating that, this is a place you can go ahead and use that up. Egg white powder and egg white protein powder, as long as egg whites are the only ingredient, are the same thing. So if you have one of those that says egg white powder, or you have one that says egg white protein powder, either way, they're the same as long as the ingredients list works for you. And then along with those 2 protein powders, I also have 3 tablespoons of beef gelatin. Any unflavored gelatin will work if you get the cheap stuff in the store. It's just made out of pork. I don't use it because it's made of pork. A lot of people don't eat pork products, and I want to make sure my videos are accessible for my recipes to be used by as many people as possible. So I go with beef gelatin, but if you're comfortable with the gelatin from the store, that's totally fine as well. 3 tablespoons is what you'll need. I also have 2 large eggs. I know eggs are in short supply right now, but hopefully if you can find some eggs nearby, 2 large ones will make this recipe come together for you. And I'm going to use a ½ teaspoon of baking soda. Baking soda is an alkaline salt. It can be mined straight out of the ground. Make sure you read the ingredients list and ensure that there are no additives or any suspect things inside of your baking soda. Otherwise, we should be ready to go. Let's go ahead and get this mixed up. Make sure that cream cheese is soft before you start adding everything together because it'll make life a lot easier. I'm going to start by mixing the cream cheese to make sure that the temperature is completely consistent all the way through. Then we're going to add the powder, slowly mix it through really well and make sure we don't have any clumps. Then will come the eggs, and the last thing we add is the baking soda. Now that our baking soda is mixed in, we're going to let this mixture sit for about 5, maybe 10 minutes even better, because we want that baking soda to react with the acid in the cream cheese. Now, if you are concerned about there being a flavor of baking soda, or if you're using something other than cream cheese that has a lower acid content, feel free to add in a ½ teaspoon of white vinegar to this mixture as well, just to make sure that you get rid of any of that baking soda that would otherwise be unreacted. So I have beef tallow in a pan here. I'm going to bring this up to about 350 to 375 degrees. This is going to start thickening up as it sits here. And one of the really important keys of how we don't mess this up is this right here. Now you can totally do something like this without this, but let me tell you guys about the Typhur Instant Probe. This is unbelievable. The Typhur InstaProbe Probe is a very, very fast, very accurate instant probe thermometer. Now I have a bunch of different meat probe thermometers, especially the wireless ones that I can watch through my phone if I have something on the grill outside or if I'm putting something in the oven. But the Typhur InstaProbe Probe is one of the most useful tools you can have because first of all, it is very fast at reacting. So you open it up, it automatically turns on. It's got a really beautiful display that shows you exactly what temperature you are reading right at the very tip, which is very fine, and it's instantaneous. So I can stick it in and boom, I know I'm at 190 degrees right now and rising. It's amazing how fast this is. It is the fastest instant read thermometer I have ever used, and it's extremely accurate. It is going to give us constant feedback on the temperature of our frying oil so that we don't end up over frying at too high of a temperature the fritters, because they will over brown, burn, they'll taste really bitter. Thank you Typhur so much for sponsoring this video and sending this. I'm gonna put a link down below for you guys to be able to get a discount on this incredible instant probe. You can do this with any thermometer, but this Typhur is the best I've ever used. You guys know I love my Typhur products. They're amazing people, great customer service, great products, and better than anything, sticks to the side of my fridge. I'm gonna go ahead and take half of my mixture now that it has been sitting here. I'm gonna put half of it in this bowl because I have a couple of different recipes for you guys. So I'm gonna split this up so that I can put my mix-ins into my fritter batter over here. This first one is going to become a classic really quickly. This is corned beef. Now I just got some of the cheap canned corned beef. I read the ingredients list and it's nothing but the beef, the salt for curing it. It's a very cleaned corned beef. So if you're gonna get something like that, make sure to double check the labels. But you know what? If all you can afford on your carnivore diet is something like canned meat, make sure there's no carbs in it. And by all means, do carnivore successfully with the cheapest meat you can get. This is a little bit more than a quarter of a cup, and I'm gonna add in about the same of shredded Swiss cheese. There is the fritter batter all mixed up with the corned beef and the Swiss cheese. Now, if you want to add additional seasoning to this or something like some diced onion, you are more than welcome to do that. I'm going to keep it simple just the way that it is. There's already salt in the corned beef and the cheese and the cream cheese that was in here, so seasoning should be totally fine. All we got to do is scoop this out and fry it to golden brown. Now is where the Typhur comes in handy. We need to make sure our oil is the right temperature. And that is perfect, and I know almost instantaneously. I've got it just a little bit over 350 degrees because as soon as I add some of this mixture in, the temperature is going to drop because I'm not using very much oil because I'm doing this in small batches. If you have a larger pot and you have plenty of beef tallow in there or bacon grease or ghee or lard, whatever you're frying in, you shouldn't need to do that, but I'm overshooting it a little bit because my pan is so small. Let's go ahead and fry these up. And the easiest way to do that is to get 2 spoons. We're gonna dip both of them in the beef tallow to coat them. And we fry. So there's my first batch of fritters, the first flavor with the corned beef and Swiss. Before we get too far into things, I'm gonna go ahead and mix up the other batch. For my second flavor, I have 3 strips of bacon that I fried and crisped up. Those are gonna go in. I also have about 1/4 to 1/3 of a cup of cheddar cheese, as much or as little as you like. And if you lean more in the ketovore direction, a tablespoon of diced pickled jalapeno goes a long way for these bacon, jalapeno, and cheddar fritters. Typhur to the rescue. Our oil is up to temperature. It's time to fry some bacon, cheddar, jalapeno fritters. One of these spiders is one of the greatest things you can have in the kitchen, especially if you're going to do recipes like my carnivore or ketovore fritters. I will make sure to link a set of these down below. They're budget friendly, but they're great for not only frying things like this, but also doing things like skimming the fat and the solids out of your bone broth. And that's how we make carnivore and maybe a little more ketovore over here fritters. I'm really excited about this. I know you're really excited about this. You said you're especially looking forward to the bacon jalapeno cheddar.
Yeah, name a better flavor combination.
Let's dive in. Let's give them a shot and let's see what we think of the carnivore and ketovore fritters.
Carnivore fritters. Who would have thunk? Okay. Oh my gosh.
Those are incredible.
Wow.
They're fatty, they're greasy like fried food is supposed to be. They are crispy on the outside. They're soft and fluffy on the inside. Make sure you don't over fry them so you don't dry them out.
This is seriously like, this is a fritter. I used to love eating fritters on my standard American diet days. Like, oh my gosh. I don't know how you got the texture. I have no idea, but holy cow.
I don't have a favorite. They're just both great.
The crunchy fried outside, the soft doughy inside. Of course, bacon, jalapeno, cheddar, delicious. But I mean, all the flavors are so good, but I just can't get over the texture. I mean, look at that. That is incredible. And the flavor is so good. And it doesn't taste like anything that it shouldn't. You know what I mean? It just tastes like a fritter. And I don't know how you got the consistency on the outside to be so crispy and so good and fried. And then the inside to be like that soft, bready fritter type thing. Oh my gosh. Best carnivore recipe you've ever created.
Really?
Yep, the best one.
Beats out all the others that you liked in the past so much.
These, incredible. I'm also thinking of all the things that you could do with this. So does that mean we could have like hush puppies?
You guys keep an eye on the channel. I'm looking at you, Wes from Highfalutin Low Carb, because I know you've been wanting a good hush puppy. I got your answer coming soon.
Wes, I'm gonna tell you something, buddy. You better brace yourself.
There you go, guys. That's how we do carnivore and a little bit more ketovore over here fritters. These are amazing, and you absolutely need to make these. This doesn't have the seed oils, it doesn't have the carbs, it doesn't have the flour, it doesn't have any of the junk. You can customize these however you like them. And a big shout out to Typhur. It made it so much easier for me to do this, because not only am I getting instant readings off of this like you get from an InstaProbe thermometer, but they are faster and more accurate. Big props to Typhur for the InstaCore probe thermometer. This thing is amazing. You guys make sure to check out the link in the description box down below and pick one of those up. They're really worth every penny, because it makes doing something like this so much easier and it makes you more confident in the kitchen. And that's why I love Typhur's products, and that's why they're one of the few companies that I do this kind of stuff with, because they just have really great stuff. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Typhur. We appreciate all of you guys watching. Make sure you hit the like and the subscribe button if it's your first time here. We'd love to have you be a part of the Chris Cooking Nashville family. In the meantime, my name is Chris Cooking Nashville. This is my beautiful wife, Ash Taylor. You guys eat your meat, love your life. Make sure you make some fritters carnivore style, and we're gonna see you guys in the kitchen for the next recipe. And if you love country food like fried fritters, you gotta go check out this recipe right over here. Do you like fritters? I like fritters.